Bonsoir tout le monde. Là, je fais une petite vidéo là, sur ce que je pense aujourd'hui là, des médias, là, des mainstream, puis même les alternatifs. Si on ne croise pas là, les informations, là, on vit vraiment dans une illusion, dans une bulle, sous, juste pour nous soulager, pour se sentir bien, puis de voir que ça avance et puis que tout va se régler. Mais c'est pas réglé facilement. Là. Faut pas s'attendre que ça va être réglé demain matin. Là. Puis c'est pas avec les fondations, là, puis le barreau, le système de droit, puis les juges, puis c'est pas avec les religions qui vont nous sauver, tu sais, là. Puis là, ce que je vois, là, présentement, là, la seule chose qui avance un peu, là, et qui donne de l'espoir, moi qui me donne de l'espoir, là, c'est les États-Unis. Et à part des États-Unis, moi, là, je vois pas grand-chose qui bouge, là. Parce que même je regarde les fondations, je regarde tout ça, le système, il vient juste d'être déposé. On est rendu au mois de juin, là. Fait qu'avant que ça passe en cours, puis avant que. On n'est pas sorti du bois, là. Fait que là, je mets René Fulmich. Notre travail avance bien, mais attention aux fausses rumeurs. Ouais, c'est le cas de le dire. Là, ça vient de François, d'un débriefing. La source, c'est François, le 5 de juin 21. Là, je vais vous avancer le texte, là, si vous voulez le lire. Là. Je vais l'avancer. Vous avez juste à le mettre sur pause. Je vais grossir un peu parce que c'est un peu petit.
Good morning, Rainer Fulmich. Thanks a lot for giving us some of your time. For the viewers of François, we had a pleasure to speak to you a few months ago regarding all the actions that you are taking. Just by way of presentation, you're a trained lawyer. You've lived half in the US and in Germany, and you're heading what's called the Corona Committee. There's been a lot of talk about Nuremberg 2 and so on and so forth. And the idea in this video, the short interview, is to put aside all of the rumors and so that you can really explain what is this current accord, where you're heading, what's the status. Rainer, the floor is yours.
Yeah, let me clarify a few things. Of course, I'm a lawyer. I'm a trial lawyer, and I've been in this business for 26 years, almost 27 years now. My firm and I have been representing consumers and small and medium-sized businesses against large, usually small, fraudulent corporations. I think there's no other thing than fraudulent global corporations, that is. And out of this experience, I think it was a natural step, sort of, that my colleague Viviane Fischer and I founded this Corona Investigative Committee because we realized very soon, pretty much from the start in March of 2020, that there's something wrong. We started this Corona Investigative Committee in Berlin in order to learn about the real facts, because we realized very quickly that the government will not give us the real facts because they're either not interested or they're being bribed or they're being pressured. They're not our government anymore. And I think that's true for most of our countries. Rather, they are more or less in cahoots with those people who are pushing this agenda that we're talking about. As we have made clear over and over again, this is not about health, and it's never been about health. I mean, it's not that there's nothing out there, but there is a virus out there, but it's not as dangerous as they claim it is. Rather, it is probably as dangerous as the common flu at 0.14, 0.15 infection fatality rate. What we did find out during our investigations through these interviews is that there's a lot of evidence out there that this is nothing about health, and this has something to do with for example, the destruction of the middle class, because their market share is supposedly going to be taken over by huge international corporations like Amazon, for example. What we also found out is there's another agenda which has to do with population reduction. And part of what we're seeing here is the so-called vaccines are actually killing people right now. Not all of them, but some of them. And it's a very, very serious event that we're witnessing right now. So out of this, many lawyers from all over the world who somehow came in contact with what we're doing approached us and asked, can you help us with our complaints against the government, with our complaints against whoever, because you have all this evidence. And we said, well, sure, we can share this evidence. It's not secret. It's all out there in the open because we have our Corona committee sessions every week. And you can either watch it through live stream or on YouTube, unless it's taken down, of course, or through other channels. And that's how this all started. We have been helping other lawyers, and because of my activities in the United States and my being admitted to the bar in California, I've been connecting lawyers because it was quite clear from the start that this is not going to be, no individual judicial system of any of our countries can deal with what is going on right now. That's why right from the start we realized this is something that I think should be called crimes against humanity. It's probably worse than anything we've ever seen. There may be worse stuff which we're not aware of in our history, but as far as I can tell, this is so bad that we can call it crimes against humanity. And out of this came a number of legal cases that have been filed in Canada. That's a complaint that our friend Michael Swinwood filed. It's a class action complaint. He's going to file another one, which will be for children, because as we can see now, they're going after our children, so they need special protection. And out of this came also the idea that in the end, not now, but in the end, there will probably have to be an international tribunal that has to deal with these matters because, as I said, no individual legal system will be capable of dealing with these things. One of the reasons is that at least this is the case in Germany, and I can see this is also the case in the United States and also in Canada, probably in all of these countries, that the people who are behind this, who are pushing this agenda, have installed their puppets on every level of government, in the mainstream media, but also in the judiciary. For example, the head of our German Constitutional Court is one of their puppets, in our view, and is blocking everything that might save our democracy. He is pushing their agenda, which is a fascist one. And that is probably how these rumors came up that I and 10,000 lawyers or 1,000 lawyers or something are about to start Nuremberg 2. That's not true. We are thinking.
Ryan, maybe we just get to this. So basically, your group of this Corona committee, how many lawyers, if you can tell, how many lawyers do you think you have joined together?
Worldwide is probably 100, a little less than 100 maybe.
And how many countries?
In, I don't know, 50.
Okay.
50 countries, yeah.
That includes sort of east, west, south, north, south.
Yeah, it includes the Latin American countries, many of which we have been in touch with and still are in touch with, because in each of these countries there are a few lawyers, not very many, but there are a few lawyers who are fighting this. This includes Canada, this includes the United States, it includes France. Jean-Luc Duhamel is one of the people who we're cooperating with.
And Virginie Agurot.
Yeah, Jean-Pierre Joseph. It includes Italy, all of the European countries. But I don't think it's any more than 100. But, you know, all it takes is a few good men and women.
Of course. So, but it's important because setting expectations and managing expectations is, I'm sure that as a lawyer, you know very well what it means and the implication of that, especially when it's being broadcasted in the media, in the social network. And I think it was important that we set the story right. So in essence, what we're saying is the cases are around some social measures, which includes, as you say, some population control or other economic measures. It's less on the health side. And we saw when I interviewed Michael Swindon that he explained to us the cases, especially based on the natives of North America and so on and so forth. So obviously, it's taking time. Now, I heard that there was a new court or tribunal that was going to start on beginning of July. So what is this? Is this another fake?
Yeah, this is another fake. There are people out there who are trying to undermine what we're doing. This is the case in all of our countries, and this is also the case in Germany. They're trying to, or in Europe as a whole. There are people out there who are putting up false flags. One of the reasons may be that they want to discredit us by putting all these rumors out, and then when nothing happens because we're not working on this, then they're going to say, "Look, he's lying to you." No, I'm not lying to you. I'm doing what I can do, and I'm doing this with my colleagues, and I think we're going to win this thing in the end, no matter what they're doing. But there is nothing going on the 3rd of June or July or whatever. We are in the process of looking for an extraterritorial place where we can set up such a court, but we haven't come to that point yet. We're not quite ready yet. We will be ready, but we're not quite ready yet.
Good. Well, Reinhard, so in essence, it's an international court. It's a Corona committee, 100 lawyers, few good men working hard towards addressing the issues of, I would say, some social measures which you think are unfounded and which you apparent to crime against humanity. We're setting those stories straight. Anything else you want to add on the Corona Committee that you think is important and that you want to basically take away some of these fake news?
Well, when we started the Corona Committee, I think it's an important institution right now because most of the courts of law which have been approached throughout the world are either hesitant or outright hostile because they don't want to have to deal with this. Many judges in this country here in Germany, and I'm sure this is true all over the world. I know it's true in the United States as well. Not as bad as it is here because many judges in the United States are elected. The state judges are elected. Only the federal by the people, or they vote for them. But the federal judges are elected by the president. So it's different, but it's similar. In that sense, they cannot really do what they should do. And I think what we're doing is we have taken over and we're doing part of their work because in essence, what we're doing is we're interviewing witnesses just as we would if we were judges. And since all four of us on the Corona Investigative Committee are qualified judges, even though we're working as lawyers, as attorneys, we are doing the right thing, and we are even adhering to the formalities. We're not exactly telling them, we're not putting anyone under oath, but basically we're doing what a court of law would do. We're gathering evidence, and I think we're closing in on them very quickly.
It's not an affidavit per se, but it is as close as what
Yes.
it is, and you are asking these individuals that if they were to actually be sworn under oath, whether they would actually say the same thing that they just disclosed to you. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, well, Rainer, thanks a lot for that. I know you're very busy. It's really pleasant to speak to you all the time. Please come back, every other week or so to give us like a 5-minute Rainer speech. I think it's important because you've set some expectations. People are following the Corona Committee and all of this investigation. There's a lot of rumors, and I think it's important that we set those rumors aside or we address them. Some of them will be true and some of them won't be true. And I think it's important that it comes from the horse's mouth, as they say. And thanks a lot
Yes.
for your time today.
Anytime. It's my pleasure. Talk to you later.
C'est là qu'on voit aujourd'hui, là, on est le 18 de juin 2021. J'ai hâte de voir quand est-ce que ce procès-là mondial va arriver. On est le 18 de juin 21. C'est pour ça que je l'ai fait sur mon iPhone, parce que je sais qu'à un moment donné, sur Internet, tout va disparaître. Donc, aujourd'hui, moi, je vais avoir la preuve de Fulmer. Rainer Fulmich le dit en personne. Donc, je vais avoir la preuve. Bonne soirée à tout le monde.